How's everybody
Oh,
doing? All right, Zach. Class
hey there.
time. Chris is right. We have a great session here. First time for me to see Zach here, and I really appreciate everything you've done. I mean, I remember subscribing to the Shake when I first heard about Handshake, and I think everybody here, you've already heard people mentioning it during various sessions that your consistency and concern and care about the protocol and the project is really really appreciated. So I want to give you the floor and have you share what you've been doing. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Thank you, Zach.
thanks. Okay. Hi everybody. I'm Zach. I run the Shake for people who aren't familiar, people who are new this year. Um, the Shake is a weekly newsletter that covers the Handshake ecosystem. It's also a website that tracks Handshake data and covers and curates Handshake resources. Um, And in addition to covering the ecosystem, the Shake is also an active contributor to the space. And this past year has built a number of different sites and tools um, with our vision of what Handshake and the decentralized web can be. And so I wanted to use this time today to talk about some of those projects that we released this past year and some of the things that we're working on right now. And I will share a little deck as we walk through some of those projects. So the first project that we put out this past year is Shakespeare. Shakespeare is a public IPFS gateway on Handshake. And so IPFS is a file storage network that um, that allows you to upload files and access files through this decentralized storage protocol. And a public gateway like Shakespeare allows anybody to retrieve those files and access those files. So you can go to app.shake.spear and see this little landing page that allows you to enter any content ID for a file and retrieve that file through our gateway. Um, there are a few other gateways in the IPFS ecosystem. Some big ones are run by the IPFS team themselves and Cloudflare. The difference with Shakespeare is that because it's on Handshake, doesn't require a registry. It doesn't use a registrar. There's no certificate authority or IPC provider. This is has all the peer-to-peer benefits of Handshake in the on the DNS side. And as far as we know, Shakespeare is the only public IPFS gateway that exists on Handshake today. So pretty cool. The next project that I want to touch on and that we put out this past year is Excerpt, and worked on this with Eskimo, another Handshake developer. And I'm noticing that the subtitle is wrong there. Excerpt is a blogging platform on Handshake. And so you can write blogs on your own Handshake domains. And the purpose of this project was making a more Handshake native way to 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 write a blog, to connect your domain to a platform and put your name to work. And so for people new to the space, people who've just got a Handshake domain and want to do something with it but might not have a website, um, Excerpt is a great place to start and post some content. The way that it works is you first use your name to log in. Your Handshake name is used for verification. Um, and then you add your domain records to your name and use your name for DNS to set up your blog. You can make posts And then the third way you can use your name on Excerpt is for tipping. There's a tipping functionality where your name acts as your address alias. So dev.excerpt is the domain for our blog where we post development updates about the Excerpt platform itself. And if you put dev.excerpt into your browser, it'll resolve the blog. But if you put dev.excerpt into Bob Wallet, it will act as an address alias, and you can send money, you can send HNS to the wallet tied to that domain. Handshake names are cool in this way that we can use them for verification, for DNS, and for wallet aliasing, and Excerpt was a way to highlight all of that. The subtitles were switched, so the last slide said what this project actually is. This project, Woogity, is a tool to bypass paywalls on Handshake. So the way that this works is there's a few other paywall gateways out there, and they all sort of function the same way. Websites that have paywalls will show that paywall to a user, but they won't show that paywall to a search engine, so that site can be indexed on, say, Google. And the gateway, like Woogity, will act as a search engine so that they can bypass that gateway. You can go to woogity.woogity on Handshake and get to this landing page that you see here and enter any URL into that field. You can also use the gateway by just putting woogity/ any URL, and you can try to bypass that gateway. This will work for news articles and other sites that might have gateways. It won't work for everything. It's more of a prototype than a finished product. There is also a Chrome extension, and that makes it super easy to use while you're surfing the web. When you stumble upon a gateway, you can just click the Chrome extension, and it will redirect to the woogity/ that link version of the site, and you can try to bypass that paywall. One of the nice things about gateways, like the Shakespeare gateway I mentioned earlier, and this one, is instead of onboarding one site to Handshake, it's a way to onboard many sites. You can bypass a number of different paywalls, and so all of those sites end up being content on Handshake. And so in that way, we are trying to onboard content to Handshake at scale. The last thing I'll say about Woogity before moving on is, if people are unfamiliar with the reference, it is the name of a kind of handshake from an old cartoon called Rocket Power. And so would very much encourage people to get creative with handshake names. There are lots of handshake references and lots of fun ways to name projects. And as serious as the topic of decentralization is, I think it's worth being playful too, and was very excited with the naming of this project. A recent site that we put out, this was in partnership with Rithvik, who's an awesome developer who works on Bob Wallet, as well as with Eskimo, is ShakeNodes. ShakeNodes is sort of like BitNodes for Handshake. It's a way to track Handshake reachable nodes on the network and measure the size of the network using that node count. Right now, we measure reachable Handshake nodes, and that number is lower than we would like it to be. But the first step in addressing those kinds of problems is making them legible. And so by tracking this, we're able to see those node counts, watch them over time, and that has, in launching this project, started discussion about other people spinning up nodes. So if you can run a Handshake full node on the network, please do. Would encourage people that are able to do this to do so. And coming soon, we're also going to be adding unreachable Handshake nodes. Um, Unreachable Handshake nodes would include Fingertip Resolver, Beacon Browser, Bob Wallet. These are nodes that don't verify transactions on the network, um, but but are clients on the network and represent users on the network. And so, in measuring unreachable nodes, we'll be able to get a sense of relevant data around how many users are on Handshake, where are they located, what kind of load are they putting on reachable nodes, and useful data, and also an interesting point in the ways that Handshake differs from a project like Bitcoin, where unreachable nodes don't necessarily serve a purpose, whereas unreachable nodes on Handshake are fully verifying resolvers on the network that allow us to self-verify names and serve this valuable purpose for Handshake. So you can expect some more development on the Shake Nodes platform this year. The last thing to mention here is the Shake site itself. So we are in the process of doing a full redesign of the site. There's nothing to release just yet here today, but you can expect that to come, and a full refresh of the Handshake site. It's exciting because this site can serve as a place for new users, for developers, for analysts to come and learn, to get resources, to track the state of the network, and sort of deserves to be treated with care. And so I'm excited to get this finished and to share this with you all. And looking forward to the Shake platform continuing to grow. So the Shake itself and this redesign has been in the works for a while, and you can definitely look out for that coming soon. That's all I have now. I do want to say thank you to all the people who've helped with Shake and Shake related projects. Buffer, Rithvik, Eskimo, Steven, Evan, Xingwei, and a bunch of other people. It's a wonderful community, and a lot of people who behind the scenes have been involved with some of these projects, and some other things that I've been working on with Dot Records, which I'll be sharing later tomorrow. So um, yeah, the Shake has been really my baby over the last few years, and really proud of being able to put some of this stuff out here, but wouldn't be able to do that with a wonderful developer community. So shout out to everybody else working on cool stuff. That's all I have. I know that's a little bit fast, Mike, but
Nice.
happy to answer any questions if there
Yeah.
if there are any.
Yeah.
I haven't been looking at the chat.
There's been great. I mean, most people are just really appreciative of what you and the Shake, your baby, has done for many here. Yeah, I mean, you can scroll through the chats. I'm not one some feedback. They're giving some small feedback. And I think even some regulars here. I think you're just putting out a lot, and people are, it's overwhelming even now. I mean, I got to also even myself research some of this more. Maybe I could just selfishly ask, 'cause if we got a little time on excerpt, I still have to dig in myself. I want to. I'm trying to make a video, like I do. Would it be too much to ask like a live demo of an excerpt? I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe show. Could you show that live, or if
Um,
if that's not?
yeah, we could. we could try to.
So many put in a spot, but I just feel like people
I
should
think I
use
think
that
the hard
more,
thing
be
about doing a
more
demo,
aware of that.
yeah, I think the hard thing about doing a demo right now is I don't have a name open to go through the
True,
like
true.
verification
Yeah, that's
process.
fine.
And
I'm seeing some people can use
but
the
what I
Q&A for
yeah,
questions.
I
Oh,
was gonna say I
go ahead.
can
Go ahead.
put out a video tutorial on Excerpt in the coming days. So if you're interested in Excerpt as a platform and how to use it, um, and haven't heard about it or forgot about it, I'll put some more resources out this week on how you can get involved.
Okay. Um, yeah, somebody was saying it seems like excerpts doing what Steam should have been. I saw from Jesper. Just some feedback for you.
Yeah,
I
I
see
think
it.
the way that I've thought about Excerpt is, D-Links is this like really nice, simple way for new users to like put their name to work. If you don't have a website, you can build a link tree with Namebase's D-Link product. And Excerpt sort of being slightly farther down the spectrum of something a little bit more than a link tree, of a blog that still, if you don't have a website but want to put your name to work, as a great place to start.
Yeah, I agree. It's great. Yeah, I mean, we all want to encourage people building on Handshake, right? And you're showing us a lot of different ways today for people to build on Handshake. I really also want to just highlight that. I know a lot of people here are into the flipping of names, buying and selling names, which is fine. I know some people have financed their projects, by they bootstrap by buying and selling names. But I think to have this project succeed is to actually build on it, like you're doing, and giving people the opportunity to. I see a couple in the Q&A tab. I'll pop one up on stage. So Chris Neal at Namer Tips is asking about a vlog version. I mean, that seems a little bit more difficult, but
Interesting idea. I don't know if that's in the works or going to be prioritized. We have a bunch of other projects that we're working on, but if Excerpt gets more popular and people use it for blogs, then maybe we'll consider adding that
agreed.
feature.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's just use the current functionality. I mean, there's always features and things that can be done, but I think just all of us as a community using these tools and platforms. Miguel has always got he's always got good question, lots of questions.
Yeah, I
He's
think he's
talking
asking
about.
about.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you got it.
Yeah, I think he's asking about the Shake's list of registrars, um, and we've been going through updates on the website. If for some reason there's a registrar that's not listed on the Shake that should be, just reach out to me on Twitter, either at the Shake or at Zach Brown, and happy to get that back up there.
Okay, great. Yeah, Kirk's. I mean, we're getting a lot of good feedback. It's not really a question, but I think everyone um, is appreciative of what you've been doing since the beginning. Actually, can I ask, when did you first hear about Handshake? Are you were in part of Mainnet or here for Mainnet? I'm just a little
I was
curious.
around when Handshake launched, and so
Nice.
started the Shake shortly after. Yeah, we missed the last couple weeks of our weekly newsletter, which comes out on Sunday, but have been doing it almost every week for
Yeah,
almost
I
3 years now.
that's a lot of work. I understand content, is a lot of work. Okay. Yeah, we're a little bit early, but it's fine to be early. I think I got all the questions from people, and we can go to a break because we did cut that other break from the last panel. Um, but yeah, basically, I think what's the best way that people support what you do, Zach? I mean, I know there's developers, but a lot of us are not developers like me. I mean, I guess subscribing to your newsletter is a good way. Maybe what are some ways that people can support what you're doing at the Shake?
Yeah, you can subscribe to the newsletter, theshake.substack.com. You can use some of these products, so you can test out Excerpt and make a blog, and you can follow us on Twitter at @theshake. I think those are the best ways to keep up and stay active. Um, So would love people to just use their handshake names, either to make sites, to make blogs, um, however they can. So I think what I try to do with some of these uh, projects under the Shake umbrella is to show some things that you can do. I'm not a developer, you know. All of this is kind of like self-taught and with
Great.
friends in the
Wow.
community. So if you're feeling non-technical, just know that there's still ways to be active. And I've tried to release some like open source code of things that I've hacked together to make it easier for people. So just follow the shake, um, and we'll try to continue to be like a source of inspiration for things that you can build in the community too.
Great. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I think everybody here appreciates. I think Telegram groups, there's Discords. Like you said, where some people might not. I know people are on Twitter. I mean, I guess Discord seems to be the best place to connect with the community or developers. What would you suggest?
I think there are people everywhere. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Telegram or Discord, just reach out and ask questions. And if there's a better, platform, I'm sure people will point you in the right direction.
Okay. Okay, so we can move to break mode for everyone. Yeah, Twitter Spaces is good. Yeah, there's a lot. So Miguel seems like he's excited to talk to you. Yeah, the whole point of this conference is to highlight people like Zach. I mean, everybody knows the Shake, but he's open. Don't be shy to ask people. Everyone here is very approachable, and this is how we are going to succeed as a community. We have to support each other, use our products, build on Handshake, share what we're working on. So I think we're good. Thank you again, Zach. It's very much
Yeah, I'll be
appreciated.
speaking tomorrow as well. So I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to share about dot records tomorrow with the Impervious session. So it'll be a good one. So I know a lot of people want to know more about how you launched dot records, and you've done really great there. So if you're curious on that, check them out tomorrow. So thanks again, Zach.
All right. Thanks, Mike.